I welcome you to this week's edition of our program, Focus on African Women's Health. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. Depending on where you are, in Australia here, this is afternoon. So I can say good morning, good afternoon, and good night, depending on where you are watching me. But the most important thing is that I welcome you again on this program, Focus on African Women's Health. This is a program that is committed to promotion of African women's health at home and abroad. And we continue to share the global message of health for all and emphasize that African women must not be left behind in optimal health. This is Dr. Olayide Ogunshiji of the School of Nursing and Midwifery, Western Sydney University, Sydney, Australia. Last week, our main focus was on postpartum family planning. And we spoke at a number of family planning options. And we said that the bottom line is if there is any concern, to please contact your medical doctor. Today, our focus will be on human immunodeficiency virus, also known as HIV. Human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, is our focus for today. HIV is a type of virus that targets the immune system and weakens people's defense system against infections and some types of cancers. As it destroys and impairs the functions of the immune cells, what HIV does is that infected individuals then become gradually immune deficient. Their immunity level depreciates and decreases. Deficiency in immunity results in increased susceptibility to a wide range of infections, cancers, and other diseases that people with healthy immune system will normally fight against. And as the infection progressively weakens the immune system, what happens is that such an individual then develop other signs and symptoms that may range from weight loss, fever, diarrhea, and even cough. Without treatment, if the person that is experiencing these signs and symptoms, without treatment, what happens is that the person could also develop severe illnesses such as tuberculosis, severe bacterial infections, and some other cancers such as lymphoma. The most advanced stage of human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, is what is usually referred to as the acquired immunodeficiency, or also known as AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndromes, also known as AIDS, which can take up to 2 to 15 years for an individual living with this syndrome to be diagnosed. You may be wondering, how is it transmitted? It can be transmitted through the exchange of a variety of body fluids from an infected individual. And such body fluids can be blood, breast milk, semen, and vaginal secretions. And individuals cannot be infected through ordinary day-to-day contact, because some people do, worry about, what about if I give an infected person a hug, or if I share some clothing? World Health Organization's reports indicate that individuals cannot be infected through ordinary day-to-day contact. What are some signs and symptoms? The signs and symptoms vary, actually, depending on the stage of the infection of the individual. However, there are certain risk factors. Some of the risk factors that come to mind include having unprotected anal or vaginal sex, having another sexually transmitted infection such as syphilis and gonorrhea can be create a risk factor. Other risk factors that come to mind have to do with sharing contaminated needles or syringes, receiving unsafe injections can be a risk factor, and also accidental needle stick injuries, as in the case of some healthcare providers. Some of the information that I've provided today you might have heard about them, you may be familiar with them. But the thing that I would like to present in terms of our program today is, what do we consider as the implication of what I've spoken about in vis-a-vis our population of interest? Specific things that come to mind is that, let's look at available statistics. In 2017, about 37 million people were living with HIV. And out of this number of people living with HIV, almost 26 million of them are from Africa. And as if this is not enough, about half of these are women, and 80% of the women are living in sub-Saharan Africa. And as a matter of fact, 1.8 million people that were newly infected in 2017, about 2/3 of them live in Africa. And the question that I'll be leaving you with as we round up for today is, what are you doing and what am I doing to stop the chain of HIV? And as a people, what are we doing? And that is it for me for today. Once again, this is Dr. Olaide Ogunsheji of the School of Nursing and Midwifery, Western Sydney University, Sydney, Australia. I want to thank you again for your time, and I look forward to next week when we shall meet again on our program focused on African women's health. And until then, it's bye for now.